Hi Libra, this is Kaycee with your November reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to start by pulling some oracles to see what messages we have for the month of November. See what our guidance is. Forgive yourself, Libra. Bottom of the deck is let go of ego. Let's pull a few more oracles. With those two cards coming out straight without pulling the rest of these cards, I want to ask you, Libras, a question. Is your ego preventing you from forgiving yourself? It's an interesting question because ego is all about yourself and putting yourself first and having your confidence, and it can be a blessing and you do it in the right way, or it can also be kind of a negative depending on how you portray the ego. But is the ego forbidding you or preventing you from forgiving yourself? That's a question I'm going to ponder for myself, to be honest. That's a very good question from Spirit today. Your second oracle is coming in as listen. And it says, you have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words. On bottom of the deck, we have relationships. And it says, relationships are just mirror images of your own life. How you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. So Libra, I don't think that you're being very fair to yourself right now. I think you're being a little hard on yourself. I really do. I think that you are putting yourself, let me rephrase that. I think you are putting your sins or your mistakes on a higher pedestal. You put yourself on a higher pedestal so that it's hard for you to forgive yourself, but it's very easy to forgive others for their transgressions. And I think that your self-talk, you're not listening to the proper part of your self-talk. You're trying to motivate yourself. You're trying to forgive yourself. You're trying to move on. But what advice would you actually give to your best friend or to your child or coworker, someone you're maybe close to that you want to give that advice to? Are you taking your own advice? Think about that, Libra. Are you taking your own advice in this healing journey? And you're at the point in your healing journey that you have to look upon, the darkest sides of yourselves and forgive that person. Forgive that energy. Forgive the thoughts. Forgive the actions. Forgive the words. I shit you not, Libra. We got guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. All right, so we are not taking care of ourselves very well this month. We are all about the guilt. We're all about the memories. We're all about fighting, forgiving ourselves, because we hold ourselves to a higher standard. We're up on that pedestal, and we all do it. No matter who we are, no matter what sign we are, we hold ourselves to a higher moral standard. We hold ourselves higher. We expect less of others, but we expect more from ourselves. So when you do make a mistake, say at work, you're so easy to forgive someone else's mistake. You might get a little mad because it gave you extra work or you have to redo a project, whatever, but you forgive that. But if you stumble and fall and you screw up because you're human, you have a hard time forgiving yourself. You get to be easier on yourself, Libra. Way easier. You need to give the compassion that you give to other people to yourself when things get tough and things go wrong, because they're going to go wrong. It's just the way it is. Those are the journeys. Those are the lessons, you know, it's why we're here. And you need to learn how to forgive yourself during these moments. Loneliness. Okay. I know that I'm never alone. And at the beginning, oh my God, Libra, bottom of the deck says forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So you have forgiveness twice here. And at the, oh my goodness, blame. I accept responsibilities for my well-being. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Libra, you are perfect just the way you are. You hold value just the way you are. There is nothing wrong with you. You are too hard on yourself because you hold yourself to a higher standard. You want to be the peacemaker. You want to be the caregiver. You want to be the leader. You have all these beautiful abilities, and sometimes you take on too much. What I can tell you is that you don't carve out enough time to take care of yourself. And that's where you come down hard on yourself because you can't do it all. And then sometimes when you're overloaded, you make mistakes. You get frazzled, you get frustrated because you're human, and you may lash out in your words, or you may forget an appointment. And then you feel really bad because you put other people at a disadvantage or an inconvenience. And as Libras, we can have sharp tongues when we're tired. We can be very, very vocal. And sometimes we say things that we prefer that we would have kept to ourselves or not got pushed to that particular explosion. And then it's hard to take back the words that we say. But you have to forgive yourself. You have to be easier on yourself, because you would have forgiven the other person in a heartbeat for making a transgression. But all these cards are saying that you feel guilty, you feel isolated, you feel to blame, but there has to be forgiveness and there has to be self-love. You have to love yourself more than you love other people, because you have to allow yourself to grow. You have to give yourself time to settle down with your energies, relax, enjoy the moment. Sometimes we're always on the go, and you get up in the morning and the go button gets pushed and you're just chugging through the day. You forget to go to the bathroom, you forget to eat lunch, you forget to drink your water or your coffee, whatever it is, and you're just doing for other people, and your energy gets split, and there's only so much energy you can give out in a day's time. And there's sometimes you just have to call it quits, go sit in a quiet spot, drink tea, read a book, watch a movie, whatever it is that calms you, whatever it is that gives you solace, wherever you can find your grace and your peace. But you have to forgive yourself. Oh, Libra, forgiveness is here twice. You have to love yourself and forgive, and do not live in the guilt energies. Don't let that play out in your mind. We're coming in with cycles. So there's cycles that are changing. Things are ending and new beginnings are happening. And this can be a very stressful time when things are ending, because it's finishing up and it seems like it's going very fast, or it's either fast and furious to get to the end, or it's slow and dragging and you wonder if the end is ever going to come. It's either one or the other, and depending on what part of the cycle you're in. Now, with all these cards, this is probably the slow and dragging, because we have to learn how to forgive ourselves, listen to what it is we need, give ourselves the advice we would give to others, and love ourselves more, take care of ourselves more, put ourselves as a priority, and stop putting us on a moral high ground that most people can't reach anyhow. Here we have risk, and this is taking the necessary risks to make these changes. Be free, be without guilt, be without baggage, be without demands, at least for a little while every day. And if you're being asked to take a risk at the end of this cycle, this is a good indication that you need this change greatly. bottom of the deck is we have the warrior. This warrior is all about fighting the right fight, taking on the battles, choosing right from wrong, and really going out there and being a protector for those that can't protect themselves. So know that you have that warrior energy within you as you close this cycle and take this risk, make this change. Things can get better. Let go of the guilt and the blame and the self-doubt that has been plaguing at you. Know that the angels are with you and they're guiding you in this moment, especially when we're at our lowest time and we feel that we are all alone in our misery, in our pain, in our thoughts. Know that we're not. You may shut off your phone and not want to vent to your friends or your family members or whoever, and you keep it all to yourself because you don't want to burn it another person. Give it to the angels. They're waiting for you to talk to them. You know, they're going to give you peace. They're going to give you serenity. They're going to guide you through the hard times, and they're going to celebrate with you in your successes. Staying focused, well, hold the course. Okay, you're doing the right thing. And if you notice, the risk and hold the course are both facing the future. They're both facing what's coming. So know that as you take this risk and you hold the course and you step into your power and you leave all this behind you. See how all that's over there and all this is behind you? Notice how freeing this is going to feel. Notice and manifest. Act like it's already happening. Bring that energy in. Allow all this energy to leave so all this beautiful energy can come in. Breaking the trail. A breakthrough is at hand. Exactly. When this cycle stops, the cycle of letting go of this energy being in your grove energy, which grove is going back to the deep, dark parts of you that you've kept hidden from yourself and from others because it's just going to be too much to unravel. You've been unraveling it. You've been doing it for a long time, and you shouldn't have to carry this guilt and this loneliness and this blame for situations that either were not your fault or you reacted to a situation. Now, sometimes you can go and cause some shit. I'm not going to lie, but if you're conscious about it, you know, usually when we do that, we stumble into it. But when you're conscious about it and we're really actively trying to release this energy so we can let our blessings in, so it won't be so stinking hard to get to that risk energy, to close this cycle, hold the course, because we don't want any of this stuff following us into our future, okay? Now, I also want to mention that you are not in charge of other people's decisions. Everyone has free will. And no matter how much you may care for someone, how much you may guide someone, how much that you may try to help someone, if they're not willing to make the changes within, there's nothing you can do to force the issue. So if you have been in a situation that you gave your all to try to help someone, and in the end, they just fell back into their old habits, it's not your fault. They've chosen not to make the journey at this time. And it's hard. We've all lost family members and friends and spouses to situations that were out of our hands, no matter how much we tried. But they have free will. We have free will. We tried our best. It didn't work out, and that's okay. That's not going to stop us from looking forward and looking for a new future. And we're not going to take this baggage with us. And if you happen to be in a toxic relationship or in a narcissistic relationship, you know that it's really hard to release some of this because this was put upon you throughout the marriage or the relationship. So know that it would take longer for someone that was in a hostile relationship to shed some of these belief systems because it was gaslighted onto you for a long period of time. So allow yourself that healing time. But you have beautiful, beautiful beginnings coming at the end of this cycle. Yes, look at that. Karma comes in as well as the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Don't panic that it's in reverse. What this is telling me is that when karma comes in, she lays out the playing field and she removes things from your life that were not going to benefit you. So karma's going to come in and kind of force your hand in letting go of some relationships that may be making you feel lonely and guilty and blame, and you are not allowing yourself, or you're not being allowed to give yourself self-love and rest and rejuvenation and recharging your batteries and doing all the things that we need to do on a regular basis. So when karma comes in and takes things away, it's a benefit. Okay. We don't doubt karma. She comes and she does what she wants. Okay. And she has our address. She knows exactly where we are, and she knows exactly what we need. And sometimes we're getting paid back for negative things that we have put out intentionally, because that's how karma works. It's an intention. So if your intention is for the good, you'll get the good. If your intention is for bad, bad will come back at you. What goes around comes around. All right. Here we have forgiveness, an offer of love, self-love. This is the energy we want. Okay, as we go through this cycle, okay, we are going to be a little confused about where we're going. We have the Hermit card telling us that we have to go within. We have to think about where we've been, heal the pain, move on from that. But we also have the Six of Swords coming in the reverse, which means we have no idea where this is going. We just know we've been through a lot. All those swords are all the journeys we've been on, all the times that we've had to overcome obstacles, deceit, betrayal, all the hard stuff, okay? And when it's in the upright, it says that we know where we're going, smooth sailing, the whole 9 yards. When it's in the reverse, we know that we've gone through all the stuff. We know we need to go somewhere because where we're at's not working, or we're not quite sure which way we want to go. We're not quite sure because we're taking a risk here. It's not planned out yet. At least in our minds, it's not planned out. But remember, we are never alone. The angels are always with us. They're always guiding us. They're always trying to get our attention. It's going to be an interesting ride coming up for you, Libra. It certainly is. And it's going to be, for those of you that are at the end of the cycle, it's just going to be like a breath of fresh air one day. You wake up and you're like, oh my God, I can breathe. That elephant is no longer sitting on my chest. And then something comes up, and then another thing comes up, and it's all beautiful. It's all positive. It's all in the way you want it to be. And that's because our friend Miss Karma came, and she came and she cleaned some house. And she was making this energy disappear. She's making this energy flow in the direction it needs to be and away from you. All this stuff you've been carrying around, or it has been put upon you to carry around, is going to be released. I'm going to pull one more. Well, I got two more tarot. And we have the Knight of Swords as well as the Wheel of the Year. This is very interesting because when the Knight comes in, he's coming in, he's got everything to say, he's got all this energy, he's got all these plans, he's like ready to rock and roll, and he's mentally clear. He knows what he wants, he knows how to get it, and he's going to speak about it. Okay, a lot of communication with the swords. Then we come in with the Wheel of the Year. This is the new beginnings we're going to get when the cycle closes. This is saying that at the very end of the cycle, and it closes, you're manifesting. And when a cycle closes, another one opens. You're manifesting from all the different elements between the swords, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles. You're manifesting through all of the elements. Whatever it is that you want or need, you're going to be at the top of your game at the end of this cycle. So when those risks come in, when the staying focused, hold the course comes in with all this travel and this new beginning, you're going to be well-rounded. You're going to be well in your wisdom and in your stability and in your power to accept all the new beginnings that are coming. So just know that all this other stuff that's heavy and sad and really at a crossroads, you'll be able to find a way through grace to get past that. And then it's really going to open up for you. So lots of travel, lots of changes, lots of new beginnings at the end of the cycle, Libra. I love this for you. I really do, because this was very heavy, very sad, and very controlled energy. And then you come to this wistful, flowing energy, new beginnings, everything's going to change. So keep an eye out for that moment where the elephant gets off your chest and you can breathe. If you are still in this energy and you're working through it, know that the cycle will end. Know that this is only a journey and your new beginning is right around the corner. Thank you, Libra, for letting me read for you today. I hope the message helps. I would really love for you guys to stay in touch and let me know how things are going. Also, please like and subscribe so I can have you back real soon. Take care.